eyes on the table, hearts open wide. I'll read the signs from.
Oh, I'm already recording. Okay. So I have 4 messages to relay. 3 of them are channeled messages, and then 1 is a message from the EMF reader. So the EMF reader, and I'm gonna do them all in one video because I personally think that they all kind of coincide just a little bit with it. So the EMF reader, after translating the words that I got from that, says, right, turning off the light. We bring you into this moment with intention. There is a shifting of light around you, and many of you have been feeling it in your sleep, in your body, in your dreams, and in the quiet spaces where you pause long enough to listen. Someone feels that they are losing their way. They are not. They are being rerouted. They are being pulled from cycles that no longer fit the frequency they're rising to. Says, do not mistake discomfort for danger. This is simple old timelines and old routines cracking apart. It says, you are shedding old identities that were given to you, not chosen by you. Soon there's going to be a collapse of an illusion. The masks are about to slip, and the masks within you slip even faster. Says you are becoming transparent to yourself and the people around you. Remember, it's okay to be transparent, as transparency is protection. Says, speak the truth even if your voices shake. Say no even if your hands tremble. Your soul has waited lifetimes for this type of clarity. Your intuition has waited lifetimes to be this awake, and your guidance to be this close. And then it says, we remind you that you are not walking with one guide, you are walking with many. You are not walking toward light, you're walking within it. And ground yourself, breathe, and choose peace. Then it says, you are now safe to let the old fall. You're safe to rise without permission. You're safe to trust your inner sights. And you're safe to trust your inner whispers. And we stand with you as that reminder. So that just sounds like a lot of people are going to be going through transformations that are going to be really uncomfortable feeling, leaving people unsure and questioning if they're doing the right thing. And because of the discomfort, being uncomfortable, and people not knowing if they're doing the right thing, they could end up missing the transformation and just being a sitting duck, and not being able to go through the whole thing altogether to start fresh. So the channeled message that I did, I'm going to tell you what I saw through it first, and then I'll break it down. In this one, I saw a white bird that was coming at a distance, flying towards me, and something in the sky, it was like a gray cloud, swooped this white bird down, and then a black one arose. And then all of a sudden I switched scenes, and I was brought to somebody walking through a house, and it seemed like a house party, but everybody was wearing white and blue, and it wasn't like formal, but they weren't laid back either. But this man came through and was walking through with this female that he had brought. No one seemed to know the female, but the male was being acknowledged. And then I got another scene where I was shown a door, and this door had a peephole in it. And when I was looking through it, there was like a secret meeting going on, and the people in this meeting were like glitching. It was like what they were trying to appear to be was glitching to like an old self, and it was like going back and forth while they were all talking. So when I broke that message down, the white bird stopped mid-flight and returns to a black bird. So this is someone's original intent becoming distorted. So someone could have had meant something to be one way, and then other things came into play, and it turned out completely different than what they originally wanted it to be. Or it's truth revealing itself after something tries to block it. Then with the blackbird rising, we have signs of transformation and signs of transformation deception. So someone has appeared to be one way to people, but really that's not who they are. And then the man walking through the house with the female. So this is new energies or influences that are entertaining the space. Someone introducing a person or an idea that doesn't fully belong in that space. And then it's also a warning about people bringing unknown energies into your energy field. So the new energies or influences entering your space, you might be someone that likes routine, or someone who maybe doesn't like a whole lot of people around you, and you have to really know the people that you're around to feel comfortable. Or you could be in a situation where you're starting to notice that the new people who are coming around are having an effect. Maybe it's not a positive effect around those that you share that space with. And then someone introducing a new idea that doesn't belong. To me, that sounds like there is some type of action that people want somebody to be a part of, and that could potentially disrupt either that group or the space that they're in, right? It could bring harm or problems to it. And then a warning about bringing unknown energies into your field. That's because you really do have to be careful, just because, you know, you got your energy vampires, and then you have your, the ones that are like heavyweight to your energy, that they don't mean nothing by it, but they're so needy that they end up draining you too. But not intentionally. That's the difference there. Or you just have straight up negative people that want to come and dismantle others' environments, cause hardship and strife, watch people run around like chickens with their heads cut off. So that could be what is happening. Either you got new energies coming in, or somebody is presenting an idea that is not good for somebody to follow through with, or there's new people coming in that have hidden agendas or motives. The people in this house were all wearing either white or blue, and those colors are for purity, truth, protection, and authority. So meaning You could be someone that takes your house environment very seriously. You're not the type to just invite anybody into your dwelling, and that's because that's like your safe zone from the shit that goes on the outside, right? So you might be feeling like your protected safe space is being violated, and the people that you share that with don't care. The meeting in the back room with the door closed but a peephole. So that's hidden agendas, conversations happening behind closed doors. And someone, when I went to look through the whole, it's suggesting someone's being invited to observe how they maneuver, right? So someone could be recruiting people to come take part in something, and somebody's maybe unsure if they want to, so they're like, well, just come observe it, just come observe our environment and then see if you want to. The body's glitching but held their appearance. So one of the bodies I caught, when he went to his older appearance, he almost looked like a wizard in a way, because he had like a long beard. His hair was like down to here, and he had something on his head. The flash happened so fast. And then the other one was a woman. She was young, and she had her hair in a bun down here. And then when she glitched, she turned really old. So that would symbolize false appearances are starting to drop around you. So the persona or the facade that people had put on, they can no longer hold it. It's getting to be too much for them to keep it going. Hidden identities are being exposed. So if anyone is not going by who they really are, that's going to start coming to light to you. True intentions are revealed. So if someone around you, when they started dealing with you at any point, had a motive or intention behind it that you're not aware of, or is completely opposite of how they really are with you, that's going to come out. And old manipulation energies are also going to be exposed. So the old manipulation energies are like a generational type thing. So when a kid grows up in his household, and he watches how his parents treat friends or entertain people, or how relationships go, the things that they pick up on, and then when they become an adult, they live like that, or they do those things. That's old manipulation energies. All of that's going to be brought to light. So if you're somebody that deals with that, maybe you've had like inclinations or suspected that maybe that person in your family is manipulating you, because it doesn't have to be a parent. I mean, people grow up with their grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, whatever. But it's obviously someone that you spent majority of your time with. All of that's gonna start coming to light. You'll start picking up on it and seeing it. So, the next channeled one that I got, this one, when I got the image, did not make sense, and I thought it was going to be really stupid, actually, until I broke it down. Then I was like, okay, this one is actually kind of important. So when the image started, it came in as like neon. Those things you draw on with the black background, and then when you take the pen, it starts changing to neon colors, whatever it is you're drawing, the sketch pad or whatever. That's what it came in as, okay? So the outlines were neon colors, real bright, and then every scene from my view had a window and blinds in it, the blinds that go up and down. And then from there, I got a vision from standing behind somebody who was in a room and they were holding something in their hand, and the thing that they were holding was changing shape so fast I couldn't figure out what it started out as, but it was black in color. And then once they got it real small, they put it in their pocket and they left. And then the next scene I got was staircases, and I could see both of them. The one right here was like shorter stairs, not as many, and it was like pink velvet, but it had a really nice pretty rug that came down, and it had the brown railings, nice shiny wood, looked inviting, like homey type thing. But the staircase over here had way more stairs, and it was just the plain pink velvet, like nothing really too, to me, I'm like, I don't want to go up more stairs. And that one's don't have the pretty rug and the nice railing, so it was more boring and longer. But after that scene, I switched over to the longer staircase, and there was a really tall person. I think it was a man. That's what I would assume if I saw them in real life. I would say over 6 feet tall. They had on a long black jacket. This jacket went down past their kneecaps, and they had the hood on, so I didn't get to see their face. But they're walking up this staircase, and they're walking calmly, like not in a hurry, not lazily. Like, you tell they're like straight and just, I don't know, authority, I guess. And then I see them pull the blinds, and they're looking through the blinds. And what's weird is when I got a glimpse of what was on the other side of those blinds were a room full of children pushing benches, like church benches or whatever. They were pushing them up into rows, and the kids that were already sitting down in the benches were pissed off. Like, they had their arms crossed like this, slouched, and like just mad. And so then it stopped. Okay, so when I broke it down, the window blinds symbolize control of visibility, what's seen, what's hidden, inconsistent truths, secrets that open up a little bit for someone to catch if they're paying attention, but then close up. And partial revelation reveal. This one is truths are revealed in flashes. Okay, so I forgot to mention this. Throughout the entire vision, there was a flash of light, as if, you know, the light that comes from your TV when you're sleeping at night, and it's got like the black and gray no signal look. That was the type of light that kept flashing. And it also reminded me of like lightning outside. So, truth revealed in flashes, right? And then someone is controlling what others get to see and know, or you're being shown things in pieces on purpose, and the hidden information is to be revealed soon. Then the TV lightning flash part of it is sudden realizations, something exposed in bursts at a time, and a message arrives in flashes. So someone holding the black object is going to represent concealment of something that they feel is powerful but yet harmful to others. It's also a shadow side, secret, evidence, guilt, hidden knowledge. When the object changes shape, it stands for deception, instability, identity shifting, and minimize importance, shrink the truth. Pocketing of the object is hiding the truth. taking it with them, not letting it be seen, concealing something and acting like it's no big deal. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so after I saw the guy with the object in his hand, a little girl appeared, and she had high pigtails with bow things tied in them, and she had like one arm on her hip, but she was bent over like this, and she was given like a playful ornery look, right? Like, you don't want to go there. So when I broke down that, it meant innocent was trying to mask the awareness. Innocence is watching the whole situation. Truth is coming from an unexpected place. Spirit is reminding you not to fear what you see. And remember, your inner self knows what it is that you're seeking out. So the 2 staircases, this broke down to this message: someone in the collective, someone in your inner field. So someone out of 10 people that you personally know is choosing the harder, darker path, even though an easier and cleaner one was presented to them. The tall figure in black wearing a hooded coat, this one is hidden identity or shifting identities. Walking with power and intimidation, and secrecy. It says they're observing and overseeing. They're approaching something that they want control over, and they're inspecting what's behind the blinds. When the hooded figure looks through the blinds at the children, it represents innocence of the next generation that is under pressure. So the next generation is needing to prepare for their judgment, instruction, discipline, indoctrination, and control. To me, that is not so much the truth, like our paths, right? Like ones that want to be chosen ones, or at least on the army of chosen ones, right? Or a part of the 144,000. Our path would be like honesty, love, and truth, right? And awakening to those around us, bring them into light. This to me makes it seem like the devil is trying to say that he already has his hand on the next generation, and he's like 10 steps ahead of us, and he's already prepping for these guys' is like schooling on his way of life type of thing. It was very weird. The scooting of the benches is preparing to face something that they don't want to. Pressure on the youth, forced direction, and people forced to fall in line. So, putting that all together, your message is pay attention to what feels minimized or brushed off. That's where the truth lies. Watch for your flashes. Intuition will reveal what's trying to be hidden. Your flashes can come from the corner of your eyes, outside, or in a room. If you catch like a light shift, that would be a flash. Not every tall, this is what got me. Not every tall figure has authority. Some only wear the appearance of it. So don't let authority or what appears to be authority figures intimidate you. You need to stand your ground. Says the easier path is still open. It's not too late to turn around. And children in the vision, you need to pay attention more, especially to what feels off. And then the glowing outlines, the neon lines, the outlines glow because you're ready to see what others keep in the dark. So to me, that was Spirit's confirmation to me, saying that I'm channeling correctly and I'm interpreting them correctly, that I don't have to go through this big long story of channeling. He's going to get me right to the point. So after I channeled that one, I then thought I'd take it a step further and ask if I could get a message that has not been channeled or put out there to the collective yet. Mainly because it's my way of proving that what I'm channeling is correct. And it's my way of proving that I'm legit. And it's my way of proving that I'm not on YouTube following a script or taking from other readers' pages. Spirit told me this is the return of hidden frequency. So it says there is a frequency that's going to be returning to your world that has not been heard consciously for hundreds of years. It is not a sound that humans are going to hear. It is more like a shift in your fabric environment. So not like fabric, right? Like you could, let's say you're staring off into space and you see like colors or ripples like float by your eyes. That's what you're gonna see. So it's like you'll see what's in the air, the energy exchange in the air. Says it's a tone in that wave that activates recognition, memory, and soul clarity. So it's an awakening, right? What I think's happening is for those people who want to choose the universal side of things, the lighter side of things, but have not been able to tap into their awakening. Spirit is going to create a time frame, a window for it to come to you and activate, okay? If you're struggling to get that activation. Says it's going to come in 2 waves. The first is going to be a flicker or speckles in the air. So if you see light flickering, like, you know, when you stare off at the sun or a light bulb too long and then you look away and you see those blue dots and they're like floating, that's the type of thing you're going to see. The second wave, when it reveals, you're going to feel restless at night. You're going to be pulled to look out at the sky anytime you're outside. You're going to catch yourself always looking up. You're going to feel like you need to clean, purge, or rearrange your environment. And you'll go through emotional surges. So you'll get angry, sad, happy. It's release. Okay, that's your inner purge when you're going through those. And they're changing it, okay? So how everyone has been saying, oh, well, answer the call. So they're in this upgrade, this recalibration, they're calling it knocking at the door. Okay? This will begin early in the next cycle that they're about to start. And it says you'll see systems glitching. Like computers will glitch, turn off, whatever, but they'll fix themselves. Like you won't have to really do much. You'll just automatically see it start rebooting itself or whatever. You'll start noticing that children are starting to speak up more and they're speaking truth. So, you know, like how kids are not shy telling somebody they're fat, stuff like that. kids don't really speak much anymore. You're going to see that change. And then sudden endings that feel strange but peaceful. So, for example, let's say you go through a breakup. You've been with this person longer than your past relationships. You know that you typically would feel tore up and emotional, right? But with this recalibration, your soul knows. It's coming into its knowing that that wasn't for you. And so it's going to feel strange that you're not having that emotional reaction, but it's going to bring you peace at the end because your soul knows that that wasn't the path you needed to be on. And then it says you're going to have an increase in deja vu experiences. You're going to have prophetic dreams. Everybody, okay? Everybody's going to have this happen. And timeline overlaps. So you're going to be able to communicate with your higher self that is in a different timeline but is running congruent with us. It says don't fear this, okay? This is realignment with your inner compass. So we're 3D. We're at the bottom of the totem pole, right? So every realm above us gets more and more advanced. So when it says that this is your inner compass, this is meaning your higher self is coming down to guide you up to their level on how to get there, and with less obstacles than they had to take the first time. It says a shift is the emotional field of humanity. That's what this is, okay? They're going to recalibrate everybody's emotional field. It's not an event. They want you to know it's a recalibration. It starts in the solar plexus, so just below the belly button area, which means people aren't going to be as sexual anymore. People are going to be more picky on their partners, more picky about who they're sharing that sexual energy with, so that their minds can be clear, because that'll screw someone's mind up so quick it's not even funny. The place of power and identity, okay, that's what the solar plexus is. So it says people will suddenly step out of roles that they had been trapped in, and trapped in for a really long time. So let's say that you're in a domestic violence situation, or it's borderline. You just know you're unhappy, right? But you can't really step out because everything you have invested with this partner, if you stepped away, you know you feel like you wouldn't be able to survive or rebuild. And you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are anymore because you've spent so much time around that person and letting them control the scenario, right? So you're fearful of leaving. When this calibration happens, that fear won't be there. You'll literally know what to do. You won't have to ask yourself anymore. So there's going to be a lot of changes and people doing it with confidence. The quiet people will start to speak up. And the people that have been loud and obnoxious this whole time, they're going to be forced to be quiet. Old identities are going to be way too hard to hold on to, and the reason why is because those identities are going to carry such a weight on the person's soul that they literally don't want to be that anymore. Like, they're going to be like, oh, we have an option to restart and be somebody else. That's what's going to happen. When Spirit says the door, he's talking about your soul. So, like I said, the old identity is going to weigh a lot, right? So you're going to be given that option. Do you want to start over new, or do you want to drag this thing around? That's going to be the knock at the door. If you... Spirit is letting you know the door has 3 locks. 3 locks, only one of those locks open, and it can only open from the inside, meaning Spirit cannot come in and cannot unlock your door. Spirit doesn't know which lock to tell you to unlock. That's the key. That is the key. Only you know how to unlock that door, which means you have to do your inner work. You have to heal the inner child to know what that lock is. You get 1 knock, but there's 3 locks. You don't get a chance to try all 3 locks. That's the key. You gotta do your inner child work in order to get this opportunity. So let me explain that. Doing my inner child work, right? My fears of not being good enough, being abandoned, and not listened to all stem from love. Having a lack of love that my soul required. That's my key right there. No, there's not going to be an external savior. You are your savior. So they're not going to say call on Jesus. There's not going to be an external threat. The devil's not going to exist. You're going to be your own enemy. There's no external authority. So God is not going to say, oh, go get him, or oh, I'm going to save them. No. God's changing the rules to the game. The devil's out of here. Okay? We're not looking up to Jesus no more. You guys are going to be your own authority and left to your own devices. Either you know yourself well enough to open that door and step onto that light, or you're going to keep that door locked and you're going to die from lack of resources. This is a self-activation. You must know yourself. The flicker that you'll see in the environment is the warm-up. The reveal is the alignment. Okay, so the reveal is going to be the whole shebang. The trust, they're saying this for, you must trust your identity for this to work. You have to know who you are. You have to be confident when someone says something about you that is untrue. You don't turn around and start questioning in your mind, well, is that really who I am? You have to know. Spirit wants you strong and firm. He wants everybody to have a chance to be their own authority. But you have to prove that you're clear-minded, you're pure, and you're not tainted, and that you really know who you are. This is crazy. And then it says, trust the identity that you come to terms with, that you are finding is really you, okay? You need to trust it. That identity, if you start now doing the work, right? The identity that you figure out of who you are is going to return to you. So your higher self, when you acknowledge that that's who you are, is going to return to you when everything starts getting quiet and don't nobody know what to do. Okay, your higher self's gonna come in and start talking to you and telling you what to do, where to go, what moves to make. So in a sense, it's putting you into alignment to, one, not only have communication with your higher self, but to be open enough to take direction from your higher self. And what I truly think it is it's bringing you back into one, instead of, having several versions of you floating up high into all these dimensions. It's bringing you all back into one. It says nothing is being taken from you. You're just being awakened. And Spirit finished with this. What is coming is not a breakdown. It's a remembering. So you don't need to look at it as a punishment. You don't need to look at it as being scared that there's 3 locks but only 1 chance. You need to look at it as an opportunity to really find out if past lives are real, to really find out if there's more than one version of you, to really find out, do you hold ancient knowledge, to really find out maybe you were a mythological god way back when. It's allowing you to harness any power over centuries if you had any. If you're a new soul, that won't be your case, but you'll still get awakened, but you still need to know who you are. So yeah, and it says, this is the last one, Spirit says, don't forget, when you receive this recalibration, you need to honor it, okay? Because your higher selves are willing to descend down here. This is how much trouble we're in. Your higher selves are willing to descend from their realm and come back down to the lowest realm and recalibrate with you and become one with you so that you can remember how the fuck you got up there and get yourself out of here. He's giving everyone a chance to get the fuck up out of hell. You gotta do the work. Better get to know that inner child and figure out what your key is. But, so yeah. When that happens, don't forget my name. Come back to my channel.